So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am in the process of making the double tree cookies. I was able to find the recipe online and I tweaked it a little bit. So I'm going to get started on that. If you see here, I've got my trifecta, my 3 sugars already mixed up, and the ingredients are going to be in the description so you can get all the details there. So I've got that already set and ready to go. I've got my butter over here melting down so I can get that browned. And once we get through this process, I am going to add my butter to my sugar here. So I'm going to get this browned up. I'll check back in just a few more moments and let you know where I am in this process. So stay tuned. You can see my butter starting to get a nice little boil on it, so it'll be browning here soon. I actually took this out of the freezer instead of letting it thaw, but it still works just the same. So we'll get this going, and in the meantime, I'm going to get my dry ingredients mixed together, and we'll be right back. We're checking back in on this butter. It's just about to get right where I need it. Have those little brown flecks jumping in there. And also, if you can smell this, if we had smell-o-vision, it starts to smell a little caramely. So yeah, it smells really, really good. So give this just a couple more moments. Get it where it needs to be, and just be careful because sometimes this will bubble up. So you have to just make sure you're paying attention to it because you don't want to have that happen and get everything messed up. So we'll let this get to where it needs to be. Make sure there's nothing sticking down there in the bottom. Yeah, and you can see where it's starting to brown up right in there. So I'm going to turn my eye off, set this off to the side, and let it cool off for just a bit. Okay, my butter has cooled off enough for me to add to my trifecta here. So I'm just going to scrape the sides of this pot, pour that right on in there, get all that goodness right out the bottom. You see those little brown flakes in there? Yes, get all of that scraped in there because that's deliciousness. It makes such a big difference. Make sure you get as much out as you can. You don't want to waste any of it. I think that should just about do it right about there. Right about there. Now, if you look this recipe up online, it'll tell you with the hand mixer. But I like to use my little wire whisk here. Get my butters all mixed in with my sugar. We'll get that going. We'll get it nice. Okay, so I have all of that nice mixed in. You can see that butter oozing around in there. So this is going to be some deliciousness. I am going to add my eggs, my vanilla, and a little bit of a surprise, which was a surprise to me, is also some lemon juice. I'll get that in there. We'll get that mixed in. And again, I'm just going to whisk that in with my wire whisk here. Okay, you can see that vanilla and those eggs in there. And my lemon juice is in there also. So I'm just going to get this mixed in. Stir this up. Okay, I've gone ahead and creamed all of that together, and like I said before, you don't need a hand mixer for this. So now I'm going to get my dry ingredients added. Most recipes will usually tell you, add a little bit of this at a time. Like I said before, I just dump it all in there, and so I have my dry ingredients here that I've already put in this little bowl here, the separate bowl, and then gone ahead and, combine those together. So I'm just going to put those right on over in this little cream mixture here. I'm going to add my oats. my walnuts. If you've ever had their recipe, their cookies from Doubletree, yeah. I ended up staying a night at a Doubletree in Indiana, and I thought, I gotta make these cookies. And so I came home, and they released the recipe. I want to say, I don't know, maybe about a year ago. I found it online and just tweaked it. But like I said, I don't measure the amount of walnuts. You can look online and see, how much you like or don't. I just go by the amount of what I like in my cookies and eyeball it. So if you like a lot, add a lot. If you like a little, cut back some. And use whatever brand you happen to like, whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. Do what you need to do and make it happen. I'm going to put a little bit more chocolate chips in here. I don't think that's quite enough for my liking. Usually, I think a whole bag of chocolate chips should be sufficient. Sometimes it could be a lot, sometimes not quite enough. So I generally like to add just a little bit of extra. I think that's plenty right there. And I'm going to get this mixed in here. Get this nice and mixed. And just make sure, you stir it from the sides, because you want to blend everything down there into that ooey goodness in the bottom of that bowl, that butter and sugar and vanilla and whatnot. We'll get this mixed in and we'll be back. I've added a few more walnuts just because I'm looking at it and I think I want to put a little bit extra in there. So I did. Now once this is all mixed, it has to chill for at least an hour. I would say, I found out with the last batch I made with the regular brown butter that they actually, to me, come out and taste a little bit better if they sit overnight. If you don't have time, to wait overnight, if you do, you can make them the day before and then bake them. Or again, even freeze it. But I think if you give it a couple hours in the fridge and you can go run your errands, do what you got to do, I don't know, play with the kids, feed the horses, whatever your life looks like, and then come back and bake these. I think that's mixed in there pretty good. I am going to get this in the refrigerator so it can get chilling. In the meantime, when they're done, we'll come back and we'll do a taste test. So this is my version of the Doubletree Hotel cookies. You could probably use this as a base for an oatmeal chocolate chip cookie as well. Maybe omit the lemon juice. I don't know. You can try it and see how it comes out. But yeah, we're going to get this in the fridge and I'll be back. They're in there, they're baking, and we'll see what we have. Oven's on 300. We'll give them a few moments and see how they turn out. Okay, this batch is out of the oven and these are delicious. Again, this is the Doubletree recipe that I tweaked. They are really, really good. So until next time, remember to share some love, light, and laughter, and have a blessed day.